They asked me, Abu Khadija, you know what this? I know this map, but for what? Wallah, I don't know. They told me this map for your place. All the place here, in the middle. For that, Abu Khadija, we ready to give you $40 million. The government take me one day, just put me in jail just one day. To get out, spend $10,000.
You guys do have a British passport that allows you to come in.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم. الله يرضى عليك يا رب.
I will not fall, but I'm forgotten. I'm standing tall. I feel abandoned, stand elevated, blessed by the prophets, led by the greatest, and peace it was promised. Can you hear my cry? Can you feel my hurt? One day the sun will rise over this land of love. يا أقصى حبك في قلبي، سامحني يا أقصى عيناك تبكي، فإني هنا أدعو إلهي احميها يا رب، فهي في قلبي.
Okay, brothers and sisters, those who are interested into knowing the story of this place, the place started as a small coffee shop, exactly where the gentleman is preparing the coffee at the entrance. That was their space, about 1.5 meters in depth, about 1.5 meters in width, and they did have like an espresso machine in there, serving people going up and down towards the masjid or inside the old city. Emad, the one who invited us in, is very ambitious, very young, and he was always pushing his father, let's go ahead and just expand the place. We can enlarge it. We can have more space, more business. We can put some few seats. Let's turn it into a coffee shop and so on. And his father was always trying to push him back, like, we don't want to have any trouble with the Israeli authorities, because, you know, East Jerusalem since 1967 is part of the state of Israel. So to be able to open a business, you have to go through the Israeli proper ministries, whether it was like the health ministry, whether it was the industrial ministry and so on. So his father was like, you know, older man, very, very reluctant of enlarging the business. A younger man has a lot more energy. So he was like pushing, let's do it, let's do it. And then he starts digging. He just digs in the wall that was the back side of his shop. He digs, and one day that wall collapses. Right behind that wall, he discovers that there's a huge space that they did not even know about. It's part of their property, but it was always blocked. So nobody knows about it. While he was digging, all of a sudden there is a big room. So he says, okay, well, we have a big room. We have already saved a lot of digging. We have now to start just cleaning the place, and then we can put some seats in there, and so on. Of course, neighbors start seeing, hearing, and the word spreads out, and before you know it, the Israeli archaeological ministry is on top of his head. They say, okay, well, you are in the old city, and you cannot conduct archaeological expeditions on your own. He says, what are you talking about? I'm not digging in archaeological expeditions. I'm just trying to do some renovations, remodeling in my own place. So they say, well, no, in the old city, because the old city is extremely rich of archaeological finds, to be able to dig, you have to have an inspector. Because according to the Israelis' policy, anything that's less than 300 years, you can keep. Anything, any finds that are 300 years and older, they belong to the state. So if you find anything from 100, 200, 300 years, you can keep it. If you find something 350 years to 5,000 years old, the states get to keep it. And of course, they have to have an inspector. So he starts bringing people and he starts working officially on the place. An inspector comes on daily basis, sits on the chair from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. and he gets paid 1,064 shekels per day. It's like $300. You add to that the money that he had to pay for the workers, the diggers, and of course, since you are inside the old city, you do not really have big equipment that you can bring in. So everything is pretty much done by hand. So he had to bring in people with small tractors so they can, just like the buggy that took your luggage yesterday, so they can clean out and take the dump out and so on. The project, of course, took all his money. He just doesn't have any more money to go further. And the Israelis were ready to just claim the place on their own. Like, you cannot continue. We will not leave it the way it is. And then the Turks hear about it. A lot of Turkish people come to visit. And they go to TIKA. I don't know if you guys know this organization. TIKA, T-I-K-A. That is like a Turkish organization that funds and helps projects overseas for Muslims mainly all over the world. So they adopt his project. They say, okay, we'll continue digging. We will cover your expenses. Do not care about expenses. So he brings in a much bigger staff and they start working on a much bigger and faster scale. Before you know it, another wall is dropped and another room is discovered and then another room is discovered and so on. And he has this huge space that he did not even know anything about. Now, of course, the Israelis now come and say, okay, well, as I told you, they have no problem overpaying the price for property. They say, well, we are interested to buy your property, so how much money do you want? Let's say the place again is like $100,000 to $200,000. They say like $3-4 million. He says, well, no, the place is not for sale. And they say, well, okay, you know, maybe $4 or $5 million are not enough. We will give you $10 million for it. Doesn't work. They go to 20 million, they go to 30 million, they go to $42 million trying to get the place. Of course, he says the place is not for sale, period. While they were digging, the place where I had my lunch right behind the fan, where's the kitchen now, while they were digging, they are moving one of the tiles and they just discover a huge shaft that goes down in the ground. They go down to the lower level. And before you know it, you are standing in an intersection from the Crusader era. There are two roads that lead towards Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak, two roads that leads to the Holy Sepulchre Church, one road that leads to the Wailing Wall, and one road that leads to Damascus Gate. All underground, exactly where you are eating your lunch now. It's a huge intersection that was about 1,000 years ago. If you remember, I told you that dynasties and empires, they just cover the whole thing and start from scratch. So that's what happened. When the Muslims got their hands on this place, they just built vaults like this one over here and put buildings on top of them. Same thing with the underground level, which is right below our feet. So now we are literally standing in the second floor. If you look through this opening over here, most likely somebody's kitchen or somebody's bedroom is right above our heads over here. Now we are below their house and there's another level that's below my feet now. So when the news came out that there's a huge underground tunnel system or like an intersection, they said, okay, well, money is not an issue. They came to him with a blank check. You just name the price, write down the price that you want, and we will buy it regardless. And of course, he always says, never, I will never sell this place because of one very, very important reason. If you guys move the covers on your tables, you will see a photo of Abu Khadija with his father. Abu Khadija with his father had him take an oath. I will show it to you. You will find it very easily. his father took an oath on him. He said, I curse you if you even think of selling this place. This place is not for you to sell. This place is for all Muslims all over the world. So it's not for you to sell regardless how much money they pay for you. So Abu Khadija, thinking wisely, if I could stand for the temptation with a blank check, I don't know what my kids would do with this place. Therefore, he goes to the Waqf organization and he just registers the place into their custody. So from that point on, he does not really have the ownership of this place anymore. It belongs to the Waqf, yet he gets to use the benefit. He gets to use it as a restaurant, as a coffee shop, and so on. Okay? Now, because they do not want him to succeed in his business, he applied, of course, for a license for a restaurant. This is a very good place for a restaurant. They said, okay, well, you have to bring in so and so and so and so, things of like millions of dollars of things that he has to install. The very thing that you now miss is like air conditioning. You are sweating. So you have to have so and so with these conditions, air conditions. You have to have so and so facilities for toilets and escape area and emergency area and cooking area and so on. And he was like, I'm just a poor man who has nothing in his hands. I cannot afford any of that. They said, okay, well, then you cannot cook in this place. Therefore, luckily to us and to him, his house is like maybe 50, 70 meters down the road. Remember when you guys stopped for the soft drinks? That's exactly where his house is. So whenever I bring people over, I call him a night before that. I was kind of on hurry last night to tell you to get me an answer. So I call him a night before. He asks his wife to cook. His wife cooks next door, and then the food is served over here. That way he kind of plays by the rules. Okay, he does not violate the rules. He cooks in his house, and then he serves the food over here. This is our way to support him, because you have witnessed on the way over here that money plays with people's minds. You've seen how many Israeli flags in the very heart of the Muslims' neighborhood. Okay? Those guys were paid millions of dollars for an apartment that doesn't worth tens of thousands of dollars. But the Israelis promised them a new life altogether. We will guarantee you a green card in the States, a new beginning. You just sell over here. You don't, because obviously anybody who sells over here becomes a traitor automatically. He's discommunicated, his family, his friends, everybody doesn't want to talk to him, doesn't want to deal with him, period. Therefore, they just flee the country. They take all that money and they have a new start somewhere else. Of course, he was offered the same thing, and that did not go with him. The very important message that this man gives out to all visitors who comes out from his mouth. I will just call him and you will listen to that with your own ears from him. This is the most important emotional thing that I think that each and every one of you should take back with him and her. Abu Muhammad, بدنا اياك دقيقتين او ثلاثة إذا سمحت. ثلاثة. Abu Muhammad, his first name is Emad. In our tradition, when you want to give some more honor to a man, you call him by his oldest son's name. Like if your son is Riyad and your name is Khalil, if I want to respect you more, I would say Abu Riyad instead of just Khalil. Khalil, it will be like if me and you were like youngsters, I will call you Khalil. But out of respect, I will call you Abu Riyad. That will give you much more respect. So Abu Muhammad over here is going to tell us with his own words about the place, about the temptation, and about the story with his father and the message that his father left him. He always tries to refer to it as amana. He says, this is my father's amana, so I will not say anymore, and I will leave him telling you the story in a few minutes, inshallah. English. His English is much better than mine. I know that his ajr is much better than mine.
تفضلي. Start. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Emad Abu Khadija. I born here and inshallah to die here, inshallah Rabbi Ameen. let's talk about our place a little bit. This place with my family. Sorry first, my English not very good, but I try to understand me. This place with my family in 1930. 1930. It was just 5 meters. After 5 meters, all this from inside and up, it was full sand. Wallahi, 30 years I was work secret, clean it. Who know about me? Allah, my wife, my father. 30 years I was working. Wallahi, sometime with my hand, get the sand. Watch me, my father, Allah yarhamu, he was laughing. You want to empty all this with your hand? Alhamdulillah Rabbi Ameen. Then, after 30 years, someone, sorry to say that, spies, Jesus, Amil, Arabic man, he watched me and bring me the juice. The government take me one day, just put me in jail just one day. To get out, spend $10,000. In your shop, you can work. We was a small mini market. In your shop, you can work, but here no enter. My place, they doesn't give me to enter. I put it 5 lawyers to help me to get paper from the government Jews to clean it, to start again. They take between me and the Jews 3 years and 6 months. After 3 years, they give it to me to start again, to clean it, but in one condition. 2 guys sit, watch me, not help me, watch me. They was sitting here 1 year and 6 months. Also, this not free. They was taking every day, wallahi, 1,060 shekel. Sit and watch me. And this time I was empty for health, for life, for money, everything. I was asking, shooting, crying for everywhere. The Arab word, Mishan Allah, help us. Mishan Allah, help to me. They have just one answer. Go fight with your God alone. اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنها هنا قاعدون. Who helped me every breath, every time, every second, every minute? Always just we say shukran Turkey. The government Turkish helped me here. Let's back a little bit about the Jews. When the Jews know the Turkish government, they helped me. They asked me, Abu Khadija, we know you don't have anything, you don't have money, you don't have health, you don't have a life. We're ready to buy your shop, we'll give you $24 million. We say no. Leave it to me, come back. After 6 months, we give you $31 million. Also, we say no. In 2017, when we was working here, clean it, the Jews bring it to me, this map. They asked me, Abu Khadija, you know what this? I know this map, but for what? Well, I don't know. They told me this map for your place. All the place here, in the middle. For that, Abu Khadija, we're ready to give you $40 million. I have 2 tunnel, take me to Aqsa. 2 tunnel, take me to Burak. 2 tunnel, take me Damascus Gate. 1 tunnel, take me to Kanisat Qiyameh. For that, Abu Khadija will give you $40 million. Also, we say no, alhamdulillah. I mean, why? My father, before he died, gave me this place, Amana. Haris Khadim Amin. They told me this place not for you, not for your son, not you for our family. This work for Islami. Here you are, إيش هم حارس وخادم أمين بالإنجليزي.
His father told him, you are a guard, you are a servant, and you are a sincere, dedicated servant for the Muslims who come to visit the city. So this is not yours, this is not for your children, this is for all Muslims. You are here just to guard and serve.
وكتب لي وصية.
And he wrote him a will.
إلي عماد ملعون 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 إذا بتفكر تبيع حجر مش إذا بتبيع إذا بتفكر تبيع حجر.
His father wrote him a will saying, I curse you 3 times if you even think of selling the place, not even selling it physically, but even if you think of selling the place, I do curse you 3 times. That's why he, of course, never goes for business with this place, period.
For that,
matter of selling it.
I have message. If you want to make favor with me, please send my message. For every Muslim in the world, We said in Arabic language, Mishan Allah, Mishan Allah, Mishan Allah. Don't leave us. Don't leave Masjid Al-Aqsa. The Holy Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Innama al-mu'minun, ikhwa. They doesn't say cousin or neighbor or friend or mother or father. He said, all the Muslims, brother. Yani when you come here, you come to your home, to your land, to your Aqsa, to your Amana. Wallahi, when we are died, the God asked us one question. What we are doing for the Amana? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give it Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, Masjid Aqsa Amana. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam give us Amana. But alone we can handle. For that we shooting, we crying, we say day and night, Mishan Allah. Don't leave us. Mishan Allah, don't leave this country. Mishan Allah, don't leave Masjid Aqsa. Or that we say again and again and again. Don't leave this country, not this place. This country, this amana between us and Allah. For that we say, Mishan Allah, don't leave us. Don't leave Masjid Aqsa. Don't leave this country.
Jazakallah khair.
Allah yarda alayka ya Rabb.
Jazakallah khair. The main message, brothers and sisters, is that if there is something that you can learn or take back with you to your homework, to your friends, to your business, to your masjid, to your families, the one and only thing that would want you to take back with you is to go back home and start thinking about coming back again. Alhamdulillah, I've just met one of the brothers who's coming here for the 6th time. Our brother is here for the 9th time or so. I know that some of you have been here before, but we want to see you more. We want to see you every possible occasion, whenever you have a time. I'm positive that the Maldives beaches are way much more beautiful. The weather in, I don't know, in Florida is way much better. San Francisco, I've lived there. It's a great place to be in. However, there's only one Jerusalem. Many beaches all over the world, many beautiful forests all over the world, but there's only one Jerusalem. What I was trying to say, as you have witnessed today with your own eyes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you, you guys do have a British passport that allows you to come in. Your family members in Pakistan, hundreds of millions of them. Your family members in India, hundreds of thousands of them, they cannot really come in. You, because of your passport, have the chance to come over here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask you, did you use that advantage or not? I gave you the ability to travel. You have seen with your own eyes local Muslims who are living right next to the masjid. They are denied to go in. He lives less than 2 minutes walk from the masjid. Many times he's not allowed to come in. You guys can come and you can go inside the masjid. So if you do not come in and he's prevented from coming in, they will definitely feel it. That is exactly the chance that they are waiting for. So have that in your mind always, please.
عندي كمان نقطة بعد ما أقطع ذاك. والله ما في شغل بس لازم أفتح المحل.
What he's saying is that, alhamdulillah, luckily, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's tawfiq and your contribution, today he's doing business for the first time in a week. You can just imagine having a place open. Now he still has to pay the taxes, he still to pay the electricity, the power, and everything. And he just like does business once a week. And if it was not for us calling him last night, still he would be like staying in his house today. This is how tough the situation is. Again, what he said is more important. Forget about this place. Forget about Abu Khadija. Jerusalem is more important. What's more important is the Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak. This is the heavy weight. And as he mentioned, we cannot handle it by ourselves. Once the weight is extremely heavy, you do need a much bigger number of people to carry with you. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it. And there's a very, very dangerous formula that's written in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْكُمْ. Like if you turn your back and you do not want to chip in, you do not put your shoulder in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no problem with just replacing you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just put you aside and bring new people in and they will do it. So you do have one of two choices. You either do it or you will be replaced. Other people will come and you will do it. And then on Judgment Day, you will be standing on the side like, oh, I wish I did my part. I wish I did something for that. Okay? So please take this message with you. When you go back home, this is the most important thing. Think about the Holy Land. Think about people living in here and how tough, hard it is to struggle just to make your living. We definitely welcome you all. I bring in Muslims and non-Muslims to this place because I do take Abu Khadija as an example of somebody who could stand for an extreme pressure, somebody who's struggling just to, yesterday we talked about the Pakistani javelin who started from zero and went up far to the Olympics, right? You do have heroes who can just fight their way all the way until they make it. This is one of them. He's been offered millions of dollars. He could be richer than any of us. Yet he prefers to be here to stay.
It is the first Qibla in Islam, Al-Aqsa and peace goes hand in hand. This is a
حياك الله.
شكرا.
عليكم
My name's
السلام
Tayyab,
ورحمة
yeah?
الله. الله يرضى
Assalamu
عليك.
alaikum. Thank you so much.
Take my card to remember us.
I will. Thank you so much.
And you hear my
Not
message.
easy.
You hear
Yes,
my
I've
message.
heard your message.
Therefore, every Muslim come here.
Okay, shukran. Assalamu
الله يرضى
alaikum.
عليك. عليكم
Assalamu
السلام
alaikum.
ورحمة الله. الله يرضى عليك.
Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I think I'll left one.
It is alright. Yes, Allah knows.
As you can see, I've just had my lunch at Abu Khadija Restaurant here in Palestine. This is a 1-2 minute walk from Masjid Al-Aqsa. You've heard the story direct from the brother himself. How many people can say that they can refuse a blank check? A blank check is life-changing. This brother basically is not selling his property because he said that this property belongs to the Muslim Ummah. Subhanallah. Please, if you ever come to Palestine, visit this restaurant, support the brother, and he will really appreciate it. He's sacrificed so much just to keep this restaurant in the family. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Lakhon salam, lakhon salam.